Okay, so 10 things that'll make your life better. I agree with Jen. This is a hard topic because I feel like I don't know everyone on an individual basis. So how on earth can I like give you a list of stuff that'll make your life better? It's really hard to come up with like a generic list, but I did my best. Okay, number 1, respect. This is kind of straightforward. It's basically just have respect for every other human being and also every other life form that you meet. I don't care if you genuinely really dislike or hate someone on a basic level, they are just like you and they are a person or they are a being. So just for that, I feel like you need to be respectful. Number 2, kindness. It kind of ties in to respect, just at a very basic level. Just be a good, kind person. There's no reason not to be. I feel like just on a basic level, if you have kindness down, then you're living your life right. Number 3, travel and exploration. This is really important. I feel like the more you travel, the more people you meet, the more things you see, the more you learn, and therefore the more beautiful person you become, like the more you experience and see the world. St. Augustine said, "The world is a book, and those who do not travel read only one page." So, travel. Number 4 is kind of the same concept. Meet new people, whether you're traveling or just walking down the street or at your job or at school, wherever. I think it's really important because it expands your consciousness. When you talk to people, you will be surprised, number 1, of the characters that you're going to meet, but it's all a learning experience. For me personally, I like to think that I don't need anyone and I'm an island and I don't like people. It's complete BS because if I think about it, the most wonderful experiences I've ever had were with or because of other human beings. I think we all need to kind of open ourselves up to the experience of meeting new, wonderful, beautiful, diverse people. Number 5, read. I don't care if it's newspapers, I don't care if it's blogs, I don't care if it's books, I don't care if it's something that someone wrote on a wall. You need to be reading because this is how you expand your knowledge. This is how you become more intelligent, more aware, more conscious. It's very, very important. Read, read, read. Number 6, I've said this before, but it bears repeating. You need to know more about the world today than you did yesterday. I feel like a day in which you have learned nothing is a day wasted. So it can be the smallest thing. It could just be reading an article or listening to a radio program or learning a new word. It, curiosity about the universe is very important. Number 7, shut up. I feel like people when they're speaking or when they're arguing or they're having conversations, they're really only waiting for their turn to talk. And so much today, there's so much emphasis on the individual and my opinion, my view, my way of thinking. And that's not necessarily the case. If you just shut up for a couple of seconds and just open your mind and allow someone else's views and ideas and opinions to come in, and you look at that unbiasedly and you're not constantly thinking what's my rebuttal or well what do I think about it, if you just let it sink in and absorb it, you will become a better critical thinker and probably a better person. But the critical thinking is important, which leads me to number 8. You need to be a critical thinker. And this is important not only when we're talking about body image and self acceptance and self esteem, because we live in a culture that dictates to us what is beautiful. And you need to think for yourself, well, is that my opinion about what I consider beautiful? It's important to think critically in that case. And then you live in a culture that tells you, well, you need to do this, this, and this. This is how you have to live your life. You need to get married, have children, have a respectable job, live in blah, blah, blah. Like so much is dictated to us. So much is kind of constructed by our culture and by the system that kind of mandates what we must do and what is acceptable and what is right. When you become a critical thinker, this is your main line of defense against this kind of oppression. And when I say critical thinker, I know it's easier said than done, but I feel like the easiest way to start doing it is to look around you and when there's something that doesn't sit right with you, when there's something that you don't really agree with, when there's something that's upsetting or troubling, you need to think, okay, these are the values being imposed on me by either someone else or the dominant culture or what have you. And then you need to ask yourself, is this what I value? This is what another person values. This is what the culture values. Is this what I value? Is this what I think? And then go from there. Number 9, eat living things. I will talk about this more during August, which is food month, but seriously, everyone needs to be eating better. And when I say living things, I mean fruits, vegetables. I mean, you want to be eating more plant matter than you are anything else. Because genuinely, this is what I've been doing this month, and I have so much more energy. I feel so much better. I think we seriously underestimate the power of things we put into our body. So I would stress that a lot. I would say everyone needs to eat more fruits and vegetables. Raw is preferable. And lastly, number 10, I know it's trite, but wear sunscreen. Melanoma is not a joke. And if you're going to be in direct sunlight, you need to be wearing sunscreen. The way you can think about it is you need to be wearing nothing less than SPF 30. If you look at the number on the bottle, the way you can think of it is those are the minutes you have until reapplication. So if you're at 30, SPF 30, then you need to be, if you're in direct sunlight, you need to be reapplying every 30 minutes. If you're at SPF 100, you can be reapplying every 100 minutes. So the greater the SPF, the longer you have protection. If you're going to be in direct sunlight, you need to reapply, wear sunscreen. It's not a joke. And that is it. Thank you for watching The Real Revolution, everybody. I will see you next week.